Hey, how's it going, guys? Spydeco64 back here once again, and well, this is part one. This is going to be part one of a series that I am doing, which this is going to be called. I don't know what it's going to be called, but basically, it's going to be it's part of a story, not a story, but really sort of the problems with current Marvel as of right now. And to start off with that, I forgot to review Miss Marvel, which the previous Marvel video I did was talk about Thor, Love and Thunder, and if you didn't watch it, or if you want a little recap, it was a movie that, yeah, liked it. It's not great. Still, though, I liked it. You know, it's whatever. But really, today's video is really going to be me talking a little bit about Miss Marvel, and I'll let you know what the next video series are going to be about. And, well, honestly, maybe this is just going to be maybe two parts. I really have to decide of how much I can get into this, because really, I don't really got much to say about Miss Marvel. Now, Miss Marvel, of course, is one of the newer, is the recent, newer Marvel shows. It's a more recent one. We're 4 weeks out and before She-Hulk comes around, and also a little bit before Andor, also too, just to point that out there with all the Star Wars stuff out there. But anyways, though, you know, going into Miss Marvel, I really didn't know what to say. It wasn't a project I was so hyped about, because honestly, Miss Marvel's not one of my favorite characters from the Marvel comics, and not because she's female, and just because, I don't know, she diversity, all that, you know, sort of stuff. I just really never cared for it. Never really did anything for me. But you know, I was intrigued to see what would they do with her in the MCU and all that sort of stuff. Now, I want to go out ahead and just say the good things that I think about Miss Marvel. And that is, first three episodes, it was really cool. You know, I was intrigued into I don't know, the storyline that we're gonna do, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And I thought it was just gonna be, I don't know. It was certainly going to be. It was shaping up to look. It was shaping up to be a really, I don't know, a really neat little story about, you know, this girl who is a big fan of the Avengers, and basically a big fan of, you know, Carol Danvers, and, you know, basically she's thrown into the superhero lifestyle, you know, and all that sort of stuff, you know, and whatnot, sort of have you. Then the show just takes this weird ass turn. I don't know how to describe it. Just, I don't know. Just like legit, the first few episodes don't feel like they, like the first episodes, and then like the latter half, which honestly, you know, honestly, it's just super weird. It's just, I don't really know what to say. I don't know how to describe it, but I guess to say the least, I'm trying to just think. I'm staring at a blank wall right here. There's a blank wall right in front of me, or now I'm trying to look at the Star Wars poster back here. But anyways, I don't know. Just the show just takes a weird turn. You know, like basically, hey, you know, we have Kamala, you know, in Jersey City, you know, and all that sort of stuff, and then we get introduced to these newer characters and all that sort of stuff, and these characters who come from another dimension. I forget what their name is. And also, there's kind of another thing too, and that is, I'm not really too keen on, or I'm not really in touch with really, with Kamala's culture, what Muslim culture and all that sort of stuff. So while watching, it's funny because while watching the series, I'm just like, I'm a complete dumbass. I don't know anything about this whole stuff, which I don't know. Which honestly, that's a really cool thing I liked about this series too, is that I thought it was pretty neat exploring, you know, this culture, and definitely Marvel have been exploring a lot of these different cultures, and definitely in talk about this Black Panther 2, Namor has been revealed to be to definitely have a Mayan influence, which basically, if you don't know, Mayans basically are now the old original Mayan culture now is New Guatemala, and I'm half Guatemalan, half Mexican. and all that sort of stuff. And, like I said, it's cool that they're just doing this, but I just don't know. They never did anything to flesh out these characters, really. They only did it to one character, and that's Miss Marvel's great-grandmother, and all that sort of stuff, and whatnot sort of have you. It's just sort of a weird thing. And, this show really... originally, now, I kind of consider this to be the worst Marvel show, but I don't really think it deserves this, just because... the creators of the show, they had a neat idea, but then it just... this is where now we get into the big Marvel problem. Okay? So, in short about Miss Marvel, the show started out good, and then it just went on into a different tangent, and the show just came out mediocre for me. I just didn't care for the show all that much, now. And I do have to say, though, that Iman Vellani, who does play Miss Marvel, I think is really well cast. Basically she really isn't acting. Basically, she is Miss Marvel. Because in interviews she said that she's a big Marvel fan, and hell, what's even funny is that, which is funny because she mentioned that the MCU's numbered universe is like 19999 or something like that. But, of course, in Doctor Strange, he's explained that the main MCU timeline is Earth 616, which that's not correct. 616 is the main Marvel Comics universe, and all that sort of stuff. And then there's the Ultimate Universe, and then there's all these other different universes. But it's kind of funny how she knew that really obscure fact, and that pissed off Kevin Feige, which we're going to talk a little bit more about Kevin Feige in some future videos. But this is really where we get into the Marvel problem. I don't know if I said this before, though, but these damn shows are... Marvel does not know how to create... they don't know what to do with these goddamn shows. These Disney Plus original series, blah, 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 whatever you want to say it. Okay, it's just 6 episodes, and also something else that kind of just pisses me off is that most of these goddamn series, and here's just the thing that I'm really just considering, but like, goddamn it, like, half of these shows don't even have a second series. And here's the thing, though, I can get around a limited series like WandaVision or Falcon Winter Soldier, or Hawkeye or something like that. But honestly, it's just... the 6-episode format really pisses me off. It's just because, number one, you're not developing most of these characters. You have a lot of cool ideas and concepts, which some of the ideas were shown. And how even the creators said that what really killed this show, Miss Marvel, is because there wasn't enough time. And really honestly, too, the funny thing is that they were trying to push this series to last year. And the big problem is, and this is something that was revealed also too this last weekend at San Diego Comic-Con, is that there are so many more Marvel projects coming out. And this is something I will get into, but I really honestly just have to say that really, all these Marvel shows coming out, and it's funny, a lot of people like to say there's too many Star Wars. Well, fuck that. Honestly, the Star Wars shows, well, maybe you can say your thoughts on them, whatever it is. If it's about racism, then you can go fuck off. But, or if you're going to be racist, you could go fuck yourself. But the whole point I'm trying to say here is that at least the Star Wars shows are treated with care. And the Andor series looks pretty decent, honestly. And all these other Star Wars series look like, and this is another thing too, is just how much they pump out these projects. And it's also really bad when around this time as well, and during, I don't know if I mentioned this, but a lot of VFX artists are speaking out against Marvel and just how they're just pushing them just to put all these projects. And considering that there is 2 Avengers movies coming out in 1 year, Marvel, I don't know what, I understand you have a plan, but you have to focus. But the point is that you have to focus on your current projects. You can't pump out 100 shows about all about every single one I'm pointing to at the shelf, but there's a whole lot of characters here that have either been given a show or not. You have to. It's not the way just to run things too. Can't pump out all these shows and expect nostalgia to carry your stuff, because honestly, nostalgia has been there. And while in some cases, like Spider-Man, No Way Home, it was actually used really good, you know. Oh boy, this is turning into a rant. Oh boy, I had like an energy drink earlier today, and I needed something just to get rid of all this stuff, because I don't really like go to the gym until like tomorrow. That's really when I do my shit. But anyways, the whole point I'm trying to say is that problem is, Marvel, is that you have to focus on the current. You got to focus on these projects right here now. You know, like forget all your other projects like Ironheart or Echo and all that sort of stuff. Focus on these current projects now. You know, and all that sort of stuff. And maybe if this is a Disney problem, maybe Disney are just asking them just to pump out many projects, then that's fine. But if you can think that we can pump out 9 movies a year, or whatever it is, then you want to know what this is? This is just these movies and shows feel really cheaply made. And it's really a really piss poor comparison, really, when you have a show like The Boys. You know, hell, even like, god damn it, who even watched Miss Marvel even anyways? No one did. No one did. This is why it failed big time. People were watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, Stranger Things Seasons 4, the first part, then the second half, and then also The Boys too. Which also, while I do want to say that I have not seen The Boys, at least I've seen some of it that interests me. The Boys interests me a lot, and of course Stranger Things is really highly talked about. The whole point is, I'm trying to say is that Marvel, no one's going to watch these. Honestly, who is even going to watch any of these future Marvel shows that are coming up? I mean, She-Hulk will watch. People watch She-Hulk, but I think people are just going to watch it just for Daredevil. And speaking of which, of Daredevil, the only show that looks like you're actually putting a lot of effort into is Loki, and then Daredevil Born Again. So what's the point of all these other shows? There's no point of them. There's no point of them at all. This show was absolutely pointless. And honestly, just too, that, I don't know, it's better off if for these new characters to introduce them in the movies so they can work off a character that's been introduced before. Like, honestly, you didn't need to watch one. You didn't really need to watch... Like, honestly, you don't really need to watch this show to see what happens to Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and the Marvels. And this goes for any other show, too. Like, you don't need to watch Hawkeye to see who the hell Kate Bishop is, honestly. That's just how these shows are just made. And honestly, it's just damn frustrating. So, anyways, I'm going to be getting all my thoughts out there on the more MCU projects out there. And the thing is that the future for Marvel, and I will talk about the problems with Phase 4 and how this is... I'm just saying this right now. Even though She-Hulk and Black Panther 2 have not been out yet, Phase 4 usually has to be the worst phase of the MCU to date. And we back then used to say Phase 2 was bad because it had a lot of mediocre movies. You know? But honestly, looking back at them, honestly, there are far more better, well-made movies than the ones we have now. So anyways, I'm just going to leave it there today. Thank you all for watching, and my Snapchat's broken too. So with that being said, see you all in the next video.